stop using that word abundance. Hello Transurfer, and welcome to TransurfingTV. I am Renee Garcia, and this is my video on, well, it's not on abundance, it's on my problem with the term abundance and why this term, I think, actually harms people in their intentions or keeps their desires or their wants sort of a dangling carrot that they're always chasing after that they never quite grab a hold of. So this word abundance is tossed around all the time now. I mean, this is a major law of attraction term. I see it everywhere on social media. Abundance, 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 abundance. And these are my issues with this term, and these are my suggestions of how you should start speaking to yourself with some different words if you want to receive an excess of something in your reality. So how is the term abundance typically used? Well, it's typically used with money, right? We hear an abundance of wealth, an abundance of money, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so when you say abundance, or I want an abundance of something, you are measuring against yourself. You are measuring in the opposite direction. What you're telling your world is that I want a lot of this thing because I do not have this thing. So I want a lot of it because a lot of it is missing in my reality. A lot of the people that I know that are super, super broke talk about abundance a lot, and this is not a coincidence. So this is you projecting to your mirror that you believe there is an absence of this thing in abundance rather than you actually getting an abundance of it. Okay, so what I teach in my Mo Money course, I'm going to give a couple of my tips here away. So in my Mo Money course, and this is how I essentially overcame poverty mentality. Poverty mentality existed for me up until about 5 years ago, and at times it was absolutely debilitating. I made more and more money, but I felt more and more broke, and I got more and more depressed, and I was more and more insecure with the higher levels of money that I created for myself. And I essentially was living in a nightmare because growing up poor, growing up lower middle class, I believed that if I got an abundance of money, I would be happy, right? But what happened was I got more money, but I never quantified what was appropriate for me to actually feel wealthy. And this was my first fatal error. In not quantifying what I perceived as a healthy level of wealth and just continuing to want more. Each time I filled that hole, so to speak, or put the money in the bank account, I simply felt like I needed more because I would put money in and then it wouldn't do anything. I wouldn't feel good. I wouldn't feel satisfied. I wouldn't feel like I had achieved something because I wanted an abundance of money. So I put money in and then I would panic or feel anxiety because it didn't make me feel any better. So then I would strive to put more, but then that wouldn't make me feel anything. So then I would put more. And sure enough, the higher the number went up on my bank account, the lower my mental state went. And I essentially became depressed and anxiety ridden, and my poverty mentality went deeper and deeper and deeper. And again, it was an absolute hell. It was a nightmare. And I realized after I found Reality Transurfing exactly what I had been doing wrong. I had not built a slide for myself of success. What I actually envisioned success to look like, feel like, sound like, taste like, all of those perceptive qualities. I didn't do any of that stuff. So no matter what I received in this world, the abundance of what I received, I didn't feel fulfilled because I hadn't built that image of what it was that I was intending to achieve. And then, as I spoke on one of my last videos, completing that frame, right? This is why this is such a valuable technique, to complete that frame, to acknowledge when you have achieved something that you set the intention to achieve, and seal that off, right? I completed that, I finished that, I set that goal to make that money, and I got that, and I'm satisfied with the fulfillment of that intention, rather than me just saying, but I want more. But I want more, but I want more. This is me that in that I want more mode. This is me chasing after that dangling carrot, never catching it, and feeling a sense of anxiety that I will never catch it, and I'll never get there, and I need more, and I don't have enough, and all of those distorted, funny messages that I would send to my mirror that really messed me up pretty bad. I mean, if you guys could have seen me 5 years ago, my poverty mentality was rocking and rolling, and it was a very uncomfortable place to live in, because again, I had convinced myself that if I did make money, I would be happy. So when the money came and the happiness didn't come, I was really thrown into a tailspin of confusion and anxiety. So this is what I am going to suggest. Stop using that word abundance. Abundance is ambiguous in nature, and it will keep you chasing after a big carrot that you will never, ever, ever catch. What you should do instead is you should quantify what success looks like for you. What are your specific goals? I know for me, when I did this a few years ago, after I achieved this stuff, my poverty mentality went away like that, because I don't feel any longer like I need more. I feel like I have enough. And when I present that image to my mirror, I have enough, I'm wealthy right now, and I have enough, then what happens is my mirror pushes back more that is in line with what I'm presenting, and I actually make more because I'm telling my mirror that I do in fact have enough. So what were my quantities like? How did I do this? Well, I thought, okay, I don't want to be in debt anymore. This is well, I was never really in debt, but I don't want to have any debt. I don't want to have any credit card debt. I don't want to have any a car payment. I don't want to have anything like that. I want to have X amount of dollars in the bank. I want to have a house with a significant portion of it paid off. I want to have my car paid for. I want to have X amount of dollars in assets in my other businesses. Now, these are all my own personal ideas. These aren't based on anybody else. These aren't or anybody else's intentions or some ideas that I've gathered from my environment. This is what Renee needs specifically to feel wealth. So once I quantified my little box of what I perceive to be a healthy financial world for myself, then whatever I hadn't accomplished, I could start going after, right? Intention setting, moving down that path towards that intention. And I achieved all that stuff. I have all of that stuff now. So again, having all that stuff now, quantifying it and putting it out there that this is what I'm after. Then I can celebrate once I get it. Now, it doesn't mean that I stop there, but I don't just say, okay, I need more, but I want abundance, but there's more. Now I say, okay, so now I want to move my bank account up to this level. And now I'd like to have this much of my house paid off. And now I'd like to have this kind of car instead. And I just slowly increase, but I keep everything quantified always. And I never, ever tell myself, I want an abundance of money, because that is just a screwy way to get your mirror responding back to you with some crazy message that you don't have enough, and your world obviously will agree with you. So, are you using the term abundance now? Do you think you should stop? Is it working for you? Is it not working for you? And what do you think of my suggestions? So remember to like this video and comment in the comment section below. I love Reality Transurfing, to receive some of my reprogramming stickers. And I hope for you all a better financial outlook. I know times are a little tough right now, and we're going to get through it. We will absolutely get through it, but quantifying things and setting realistic goals rather than saying abundance is key. So thanks so much for watching my video, everyone. Bye.